n'ebirala okebera oba si balwadde. Bwe tumala ebyo byonna nga tudde ate mu kusunsulamu okufuna quotas ezeetaagibwa weziba shortlist webanga ekyayinako abantu nga tujjako quota eyeetaagibwa kyetuliko wano kati era kyetutuuseeko.
Kati afande ku obuyigirize mwetaaga obuyigirize
twetaaga senior 4 oba ekyenkana senior 4 ateeka okuba nga alina empapula eziraga nti yatuula senior 4 oba ekyenkana ku senior 4 ng'empapula ntuufu n'ebiwandiiko ebya identity card biteekwa okuba nga tetwetaaga duplicate, twagala identity card zetukebera.
Temufunyeyo bazze na bizingirira?
Tubafuna, omulimu gwaffe kubajjamu ne tutwala bali ab'ebituufu. Gwe mulimu gwaffe okugjamu abalina ebiwandiiko ebituufu tuleke abatalina biwandiiko bituufu.
Kati wano olwaleero bameka be mwetaaga mu Mbale district wonna omuwendo mu bameka?
Mbale district twagimaze ejjo.
Ngamba
mu region
olwaleero region bano bonna tubetaagako abantu 45
buli district.
Kati
abazze of course quotas zaabwe ziri mu 9 tubanga abagala half tubawe namba nene kubanga tuba twetaagamu abasinga okubeera n'ebyetaago byetwagala etutwala.
baiti emala eyanziza
abananga batulaba nze bampita Banja Hamza nga nze Deputy Residence Commissioner wa Mbale City nga ndi in charge Industrial State Division. Bwe bakoledde ddala ki recruitment exercise so far so good nungi terina buzibu bwonna era nga bwe mutunuulira n'abatulaba bonna ebifaananyi ge munaabiraba abantu abadde balina intentions ezaagala okwonoona obaako kye bakola ki bona babalekeddewa ebbali era nga bwe mulaba bali wabweru w'effensi. Recruitment eri free and fair, atalina documents entuufu, academic registrations, atalina ndagamuntu entuufu, yena alina bino byeteetaaga katubalenga alina obukosa ku mubiri alina kyebyo biteetaagisa olabona babalese so far kyo kirungi akuba nti Mbale City okusinziira ku kano Katemba baganze nti tulinamu deficit abantu 19 netulowooza abantu baffe baagala ki emirimu wegiri naye ate tebakoze ki tebasobodde kujja kugenda mu magye ate banaatuuka nga ekyabanoonya ki emirimu naye ngaemirimu gibaddewo ate nebatakola ki nebatajja.
basi ulinzi bwesi bahuwe kapsisi yaberoyo abantu bikusinga ikutumeli bakikawa
naba security eri kulukulu wano nyimiriza commission nawe tabitambula bulungi tuli corruption.
Gntv at 12.
Thank you, Desire, for that report. Now, in other news, the members of parliament on the Kosase committee have come out to ask the Uganda Tourism Board members to explain on the issue of excess expenditure of 5 billion Ugandan shillings, which they have termed as taxpayers' money on travel and seminars. Our reporter, Desire, has more.
Please, Salongo. 80, the budget revenue, because we have two figures. We have 280 million, we have 201. So we need to clarify, because for him he's saying his is 162. For you have 280.
Chair, thank you very much, and honorable members.
For me, no, B, after tax revenue, under external assistance, stroke of grants, read it, be on record, and you compare Chair. With your first statement that you gave.
It reads, yes, grants are received by the entity either as cash or in kind from foreign governments in bracket bilateral, as revenue when received. In-kind receipts, in bracket donations, are recognized at fair value when received.
Yes, Nangoli, what's your matter on that?
Then that one I'm still there. Then you go to page. So you need to unpack for us to understand. No, I'm coming. Then administrative fees and licenses amounted to 38,200,000. So you need to unpack to the committee to understand what this entails, the composition of these administrative fees vis-a-vis sale of goods and services.
Okay. Let him first answer that. Yes, please, Mr.
Members. Like I said in the summary of the NTR, which is on page 3 of our responses.
It is page 3?
Yeah, page 3 of the responses.
Of this book?
Yes. Where the issues raised by Auditor General coming
Mr.
from.
Chairman,
yes, 1.1.
It's very clear on page 3.
Okay.
The composition of the 162 is very clear.
But I wanted to clarity on
administrative fees for particular category include registration fees, that is for accommodation facilities, and fees that are charged to facilities for purposes of licensing them. And that also relates to accommodation facilities.
Licenses to who?
To accommodation facilities.
Hotels.
That's hotels, different categories of accommodation facilities.
What about tour operators, travel companies?
According to the law that we are using at the moment, they don't have a fee for payment. Okay. So registration is basically financed by the government of Uganda funds.
I want you to look at consultant services. Consultants services
1 billion
or 1.2 billion. I don't know what exactly, which services is the consultant providing to this entity. You look at staff training. Staff training, we have 590 million.
Workshop.
Staff training alone.
Are you saying workshops, meetings and seminars?
No, workshops, meetings and seminars. Now, you are meeting to focus on what? because what would expect you to be doing, you're not doing it. So, which value is attached to these seminars? Which value can we attach to these seminars and workshops? Can we say that as you caucus in your meetings?
We may have explanation or comment on that, Madam CEO. That comment I need is from Madam.
Very much, Honorable Chair and members. From the breakdown of what falls under workshops, meetings and seminars, I earlier on mentioned about the sensitization awareness that we do for the hotels, the tour operators, their trainings we do for them as well. Their sensitization workshops and meetings with different stakeholders. And then one of the biggest one-unit costs here is also the venue that we normally have to hire for the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. That is at Munyonyo, Speak Resort Munyonyo, because this is an international event that brings in lots of international hosted buyers.
Clinton Nahabam Jump, Gntv at all.
Away for that report. Now, away from that, Honorable Gotv Michael has urged all Ugandans to always involve themselves in fundraising functions if they want their areas to develop. But he says that this will be done once it's done in a proper way. Gotv Michael said this while speaking to our reporter after the issue of fundraising becoming the order of the day. We have more.
Amazina niraka Gotv Michael kakwishikire omunyeto gwa Ntunga municipality kanyanju y'abanyantunga mu municipality kandi banyikiriza ngwe 2026 nze kubajwekera mu ishengero ry'ihanga kandi nkibebariza munonga abo kwankinkereka ngo hine kibande birimo kandi hine kindu kwereba mu cyango hine impact inkwasagita ompango akutunguka kwa Ntunga moyo municipality na Ntunga moyona ihanga ryona wambuze kibuzo kirungi anshonga ya fundraising ningashi kweta abantu bakakwatiza hamwe kugira ngo hagire eki bakora nyina mutwikirizane ngo fundraising tiyatandike rizoba kuruga ombunyakare fundraising ekekorwa kongekorwa miringe takushana nsimanyaje ngo obwire bwigesha kubwaye buhika mwetana kugira ngo haje umuzigo mwakora kandi mukore mwegitirine muninga mweterine hamwe base kutambura icyo twatucireba ambunyakare abantu kwabe baza kunyuka betana wakireba haje umurimo gubakora gutambura hamwe konka orizoba tureba mwembezo bihanga karga kucijumira eshi yacijumiriri na kugira ngo abantu abamwe bakosa fundraising kurabya hebyabo wakireba konka omuyihanga ryitu ery'abantu kiryaboro omuyihanga ryitu eri service delivery ekirya hansi turayikirize ibintu kufa kandi kureba yo for example nirwo muri Ntunga municipality ishomero yanjye rya mato ryanyeta rikajya konka hine abana bafunze umubina ibina bire bike muje twegitirane nk'abantu abuganyirwa mu ryeri ishomero tagize tongero ka block ke kizimbe tarumu bwa stand abantu twahitana tukajya ngo apana twendira mizo reka tubwite tuteke hira mizo rurungi iratese kitinisa na mukamara hambuka muhese kitinisa cyo mu stand konka eshitwine kujumira nekintu cyo kugira ngo omuntu omwe ayite fundraising yamara esente zaragamu aziteresha hoyeye aziteko mushaho yenyu echo kintu kibi president yabinajumira munonga twabirebera mu district zitari zinazimwe na zimwe zitakwenda gamba kugira ngo umuntu naragayo ayita fundraising yo kombe kirwaro atimara ayenda kwa nwe yaba plana weze sente ayenda kwa nwe yaba cash yaweze sente amuherwa byo no wa collecting $50,000 oza kwesha ngo $50,000 tizafuna umuhanda gwazuzwa maninga shi $50,000 zona tizamanya kuzakora ki aho zatora so konka abanyayuganda nyo ninjera ngo omumbera yiturumu abanyankore bakakigamba kare ngaga kwatani agara hamwe ninga geterine nugugati gufu mureke tweterane kwate sente abo kuba waleta 10 kareto rundi nizibe 12 nzizitakira 10 mureke twegite tubase gukora emirimo ninga shi tubase gukora projects izakwasa kutwiho mbworo izakwasa kurete ntunguka ombyanga byitu abo kuba buri umwe yasigaza akantu keyo munshaho ye nikakusigara kariya kawe konkana kaza kuchendeza development
za asimweka jesse GNTV at 12.
For that report, and that was advice from Honorable Gotv Michael from Ntunga Municipality. Now, as we get closer to the end of today's bulletin, residents in Rubiji Wetland still decry over National Environment Management Authority, call it NEMA, actions of destroying and demolishing properties of residents that were living in Rubiji Wetland. They say that National Environment Management Authority, call it NEMA, should revise their actions as soon as possible.
Abatazalibwa muno mu Uganda Omuntu monna mugambe mu buntu. Naye bale kutulwanirira. Era alwaniridde Uganda era agiterezezza byebino byaterezezza. Kyamulwanisa kyekino. Twali tumuwa obululu nga tumanyi tuwa mwannyinaffe. Twamuwa obululu nga tumanyi tuwa mwannyinaffe. Naye kutuuka ku ssaawa eno n'alyoka akola bw'ati. Kale yeebale. Kasaba ababe bo bali bulungi. Singa bibadde myaka etali badde bweki. Eggulu bayinza ku
koni abapeta koni kati bibyo ebintu byonna property zawe tukolewo ennyini we bazite ebintu nebijjawo kati fetuseewa nogera ku macho olina ddawo n'agamba munnaye nze njagala nnyo omugagga amu yasula eno oba yali mu ggwanga yekka.
Ki mwana wange tugambe ki omusajja mwanyinaffe Musevenize mwanyinaze w'emyaka kumpi ndowooza gyegiri naye atuusiza bubi. Abantu abaali wano mu bibanja byaffe ebitaaliko lutobazi ne batira omwala guli ogwa Lubigi guli ne bagukyusa ne bagutunuza eno ne batiibwamu amazzi. Eno gye bamenya olabayo njagala oddeyo olabe emyala gyonna egitwala amazzi wali bagenda nga bagiziika. Kiki ekigendererwa? Ekitegeera ki mwana wange tugambe ki omusajja mwanyinaffe Musevenize mwanyinaze w'emyaka kumpi ndowooza gyegiri naye atuusiza bubi. Abantu abaali wano mu bibanja byaffe ebitaaliko lutobazi ne batira omwala guli ogwa Lubigi guli ne bagukyusa ne bagutunuza eno ne batiibwamu amazzi. Eno gye bamenya olabayo njagala oddeyo olabe emyala gyonna egitwala amazzi wali bagenda nga bagiziika. Kiki ekigendererwa? Ekitegeera naalagawo ajja kubeerawo wano webanasanga oba banampisaamu za kibooko zaabwe bebamanyi. Kati ndagewa omukazi omukulu akaddiye emyaka gino ndagewa n'ebintu bibiri bakasomba basomba n'ebigaaniddewo ebyamyaka kumpi 40. Buli kafa kunayakamu kati oteekeeyo obukoka ofunyeeko oteekeeyo kati bibino bituuse olw'okubitwala siraba gye mbitwala. Netubanga abantu abatazaalibwa muno mu Uganda omuntu monna mugambe mu buntu. Badde bunyankole balikiriza ne bakola bwe batukoze netubanga emomboze. Netubanga abantu abatazaalibwa muno mu Uganda omuntu monna mugambe mu buntu. Batugambe okugjako beekaza waliwo omusajja ali ku TV okwo yeekaza batusasula n'otusasula sente bazisasulaani bagende bajjeyo fayiro zaabwe balabe nga mulimu amannya gaffe ge basasula.
Za Asimweka Jesse, GNTV at 12.
Now that's too bad for the people that had found comfort in Rubigi Wetland, but we still pray that God shall touch out there people with good hearts who will reach to the help of this Rubigi resident. Now, in our international news, the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency William Ruto, signed the bill into a law, a bill that intends to bring peace in the country of Kenya. The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Amendment Bill 2024 intends to introduce new commissioners to the Electoral Commission. Let's take a look.
President William Ruto appended his signature to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Amendment Bill 2024, effectively making it law and setting stage for the reconstitution of the polls agency that has been operating without commissioners.
Thank you very much. Subsequent to the meeting and the signing off of the bill that was done this morning into law establishing the IEBC, we have subsequently had consultations, and we have agreed that to bring the country together for the purposes of working on the issues that are of priority to the people of Kenya, we will move ahead with the multi-sectoral forum.
The signing into a law of the bill, which the first among of the 9 proposed legislation that emanated from the recommendations of the National Dialogue Committee, report paves the way for the appointment of the commissioners.
And we have agreed that a membership of 150 representatives of various stakeholders, 50 of whom shall be young people of Kenya. The other 100 will be representatives of all the other sectors, the religious community, civil society, professional groups, political parties. This forum will begin on Monday next week and end on Saturday next week. It will be a 6-day forum, and will propose the way forward for the country. In the interest of making sure that we live within our means, all participants will bear their cost of attendance.
The bill is one of the key implementations that are a result of the National Dialogue Committee talks. The President has been under pressure to sign the IBAC bill amid calls by the section of Kenyans to record their MPs for voting in favor, impacting the Finance Bill 2024.
This is the result of the consultations we've gone through this morning, and we look forward to beginning the forum on Monday next week. The various stakeholders will be required to submit their representatives by Friday this week.
Opposition leaders and a section of the clergy have been calling for the signing of the bill to facilitate the reconstitution of the electoral agency.
We agree that we give people an opportunity to be heard, to express themselves, to come out with the grievances which are actually ailing our country today, so that a lasting solution can be found. Because of restrictions of resources or limitation of resources, we've agreed that everybody else will bear the cost of coming to this meeting. But we want it to be a really very engaging conversation and the way forward, so that we deal with fundamental issues that are affecting our society today. We know there are many, but they are actually solvable. But we need to begin by identifying, secondly, coming up with the solutions to these problems. So we think that this forum will work and will help us to move forward. We want representatives from political parties, from religious groups, from the civil society, from working community, from the employers.
Raila Odinga and Wiper, leaders of Kalonzo Musyoka, were among leaders who witnessed as President William Ruto asserted the IBAC Amendment Bill 2024.
And professionals and intellectuals of our country, the youth particularly, Because as I mentioned earlier on, youth actually the majority in our society today. And we want them to be properly heard. And then the several issues, some of them which have been mentioned already, the issue of unemployment, the issues of corruption, the issues of ethnicity, debt in our country, debt servicing, and generally management of the economy are issues that we need to talk about. So we look forward to getting this process started.
Gntv at 12.
Thank you, Desire, and that report brings us to the end of today's bulletin. My name is ALLIAN at ATUBANDIIZE, Gntv at 12. I've been with Joseph in the control room and Apollo behind the camera, and it's been a pleasure having you, our dear viewers, here. Up next is a lunch hour service at King of Kings Church. Please come and attend.